Hey guys, Joseph Henson here with Henson CPA Group. I hope you're having a great day, enjoying the weather while you can here in Joplin. It is really nice today. Next week, not so much. But I wanted to go ahead this week and talk about something that's been coming up a lot, especially with tax season. One of the things we always ask people is, did you receive any notices from the IRS, especially for new clients? This is important to us. So this week, we are talking about IRS notices demystified, what that letter really means. Before you panic, let's understand what you are actually looking at. Again, I'm Joseph Henson, CPA with Henson CPA Group. Thanks for joining me. Let's get right into it. The first thing you need to do when you receive a letter from the IRS, don't panic. Most letters are automated. They're not personal. Something was triggered in their system and they automatically sends it out. It does not even have someone associated with it many times. A letter does not automatically mean there's an audit or that an audit is forthcoming. Many notices are simply informational. You said this, we had this, here's what really happened. The real danger of a letter is ignoring it. If you ignore a letter from the IRS, things can and typically will go poorly for you. Why the IRS sends notices anyway? The IRS will typically send notices for one of four main reasons. You have a balance due on a return, there's mismatch in income reporting, you have a missing or late filing, and they need a verification request. So we're going to go through what all those are a little bit to kind of give you an idea of when you really want to worry and when to get a hold of us or when you just send it. Common notice types business owners receive. CP14, this is your balance due. You had a $10,000 tax bill, you paid $9,500, thought you had a $500 carryover, you didn't, you now have a balance due of $500. A CP2000, income mismatch. They are saying you had some income that was reported on your wage and income transcript that you didn't report on your tax return. Could be a missing 1099 NEC, 1099 miscellaneous, 1099 INT, yada, yada, yada. Even a W-2. And the next one you might look at is a notice of intent to levy. These are a little bit worse. That means you've probably failed to pay, provide, do something with the IRS. They have an intent to levy your bank or property. And then you have a failure to file, failure to pay penalties. These are you forgot and failed to file your return. You forgot to pay the taxes due. Here are the interest, here's the penalties. These are fixable as well. You just have to know what you are doing. Notice severity spectrum. How worrisome are these? Informational. Not that worrisome. Adjustment needed. Hey, we noticed a mismatch. You forgot this 1099 NEC for your return. You forgot you were supposed to get a K1 because you never received it. You had a small stake in a partnership, didn't think about it. An S Corp didn't think about it. They received it. You haven't done it. It's a little more worrisome. Balance due. You owe the IRS money. They're going to have penalties and interest on there. And then the enforcement warning is the biggest one. They are going to take action against you. Not all letters are created equal. And understanding where yours falls will change the response strategy in what we need to do versus what you can do. The most common scenario is typically going to be the CP2000, the income mismatch. The IRS computers compare your 1099s, your W-2s against your tax return. If you did not report a W-2 because you had a small little job at one point, you didn't know they were going to send a W-2, you made like $500, well, the IRS got it. Or you had a 1099, you provided to someone, they issued it, you thought it was claimed last year, hey, there's a mismatch. We need to get that fixed. Even small mismatches trigger automated letters. You can have it as little as you earned $12,000 on a W-2 and then you accidentally reported $11,000. You just miskeyed it. Happens all the time. You want to check, but it can happen. Sometimes these letters are correct. Sometimes there's just data entry errors. And sometimes you have a bookkeeping issue. If you are a veterinarian and you own your clinic, most common would be if you are doing some subcontracting, you receive a 1099K and you're not reporting all of your income, but someone is sending you a 1099. So let's throw it out there. You made $1 million last year, and on your tax return, you reported $800,000, but you're issued a 1099 by every person you paid. Because if you pay someone more than $600, $2,000 this year, they're required, or if they paid you more than $600, $2,000, and they're a business, they are required to issue a 1099 NEC. You could have an issue with your books not being reconciled, so you missed some of this, especially with the 1099K with the credit card processing companies. The IRS is looking to see if what you report matches. The most important thing is don't admit fault immediately. Review it. Get a hold of us. Let's review what was done, rebuild it, and make this go as fast as we can in your favor, preferably. Balance due notices. Now, this could become through several things. It could be estimated tax shortfall. Are you making quite a bit of money and you're supposed to pay $10,000 per quarter, but you didn't? And then your previous CPA said, hey, I thought you paid $40,000. We reported that. Well, you now owe $10,000 because you missed one of those quarters. Under withholding, if you're not withholding enough, you will end up owing penalties. You will end up owing interest for under withholding. Business cash flow timing issues. You didn't receive the money until January. Someone reported it in December. There's a mismatch. You're not the accrual basis. You're on cash basis. Now we have a mismatch we have to fix. The interest will start immediately with the IRS. They do not care. They will accrue interest daily until this is paid. And if you ignore it, it will make it worse. I can guarantee that. Nothing good ever comes from ignoring the IRS. I would rather owe the mafia than the IRS. The key message I want you to really take away from this portion is action reduces escalation. If you can get this done earlier with our help, then we don't have to worry about trying to do an appeal, trying to go through an audit. Let's get this fixed correctly, review everything that's been done, even if we have to ask for more time. Enforcement letters, when things get serious. This is your intent to levy, your intent to lien, your payroll tax enforcement. There's a lot here. This is extremely serious. They have probably sent you letters that you have ignored. Now, they are going to put a levy on your bank account. They are going to put a lien on your property, and there will be some enforcement that is taken. These have timelines. There are still options, but the window narrows extremely quickly. Don't freak out. I have on here, explain calmly. You have to know these can be fixed. There's nothing that we can't fix if you come to us and you're not just 100% lying to us. I should add with that, you might still owe, but it's way less than what they think. So the number one mistake business owners make, you're calling the IRS too quickly. You are saying too much. You're sending incomplete documentation or avoiding it entirely. What do I really mean? Don't just pick up the phone and call the IRS directly. For one, you have a right to representation. Now, who can represent you? A CPA. Hey, I'm Joseph Henson, CPA. This is something we do. An EA, an enrolled agent. They are allowed to represent you in front of the IRS. Or an attorney. Those are the ones. There are a lot of people out there who are tax resolutionists. That is not a true designation. A tax representative is someone who has the training and expertise. If you do call the IRS, don't babble on. I had someone local here who they were not a client of mine. I did not know them locally. I did not know of their situation. They talked to the IRS because they weren't paying some taxes. And he even said, well, yeah, that's on me. I knew I was supposed to. I just never knew how. So I just didn't do it. And I used the money somewhere else. You're saying too much. You're admitting to knowingly not paying. If you send incomplete documentation, they're wanting to know, hey, what's going on here? I want your 940, your 941. Where is this? I want bank statements. I want this. I want that. You're leaving out pages. It doesn't look good. They're going to go through that. They're going to tabulate. They're going to cross-check to make sure what you send them matches. If not, what are you hiding? Let's figure that out. What are you hiding? If you're an IRS agent, if an IRS agent is looking at this, they're going to wonder that. Avoiding it entirely, probably the worst mistake, because that's when it just goes from baseline worry to now we can't sleep at night. Now we can't eat at night. Am I going to have someone coming and raiding my house? The better approach, you need to pause, review everything, strategize. And then when it is time for us to respond, we want to respond intentionally. We don't want to do it brashly. We don't want to do it without thinking. We want to do this very intentionally. What you should do immediately, read the entire notice. We want you to read it, put it aside for a minute, read it again, and then check your deadline. Does it say within 7 days? Are you supposed to go to someone's office within 2 weeks? What does it say? Compare to your filed return. Is what they're saying you reported matching what you actually reported? Gather supporting documentation is the next step, and then do not ignore it. It's not going away. They're not going to forget about you. They're going to come after you at some point. When it makes sense to get help, you are unsure of what triggered the notice. You don't understand why when you did everything right. It involves multiple tax years. Now we need to go back and see if it's accurate and what was the carryover. It's payroll tax related. Do not discuss with the IRS anything payroll tax related without a representative. It includes penalties stacking. What I mean by that, the penalties are going to continue accruing. You had a failure to file, a failure to pay, and it's just going to continue growing. Can we get those abated? Can we get those to go away? It's moved to enforcement language. Again, lien, levy. Are they going to place a lien on your property? Are they going to levy your bank? If you have received an IRS notice and aren't sure what it really means, we offer a free strategy call to review and discuss next steps. No pressure, just clarity. I'm Joseph Henson, CPA with Henson CPA Group. My email is joseph@hensoncpagroup.com. And if you need, there is a booking link below in the comments on my Facebook page. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Don't stress, don't worry. We can fix this issue.